Hey y'all, in today's video I'm going to be taking some thrift treasures from my local thrift store shopping and some IOD transfers and redoing my kitchen window. It's been since before spring since I did it, and so it's time to give it a little bit of a summer refresh. My name is Holly Lamb and welcome to Lamb Living. I'm tickled that you're here. All right, so we are off to the Restore. Our Habitat for Humanity store is where I found this cute little flour sifter for $3. And here it is. I'm going to leave it just like that. I'm not going to paint it or do anything to it. We are just going to add transfers. And then I took this little lattice type architectural piece. I don't know why they had those at the Restore, but they had a big stack of them, so I got one for $2. And here's Toby. This is where he sits most afternoons. Here in South Georgia on the coast, we get a thunderstorm almost every day. And so he sits there and pants and makes a mess on the floor. And then, you know, that's how we do here in the summers. So we're back in the Restore, and I found this pepper mill. It was missing its little top of the little screw topper there, but I found that one for $2. And then this little pan with its own scraper I found at the Goodwill for $2. So I'm going to take the last little crusty bits of my Snowy White by Waverly and mix it into my favorite plaster color. I get these at Walmart, and I bought that Snow White Waverly chalk paint before Christmas. So I was using those in Christmas DIYs back last fall. So this little 8-ounce can lasted me a good little while. And so I took that last little bit and kind of brightened up that plaster chalk paint, because this is going in my kitchen window, and the backsplash on our kitchen countertops, and the backsplash is white subway tile. So I wanted to brighten up the plaster just a little bit. So I'm going to take this guy. I gave the lattice piece 2 coats on the front side there, and while it's drying, I'm going to give this little pepper mill, I'm going to go back and forth between the two, but the pepper mill, because I'm covering up dark, it got 3 coats. And I'm taking my baby wipes from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just wiping it down a little bit, try to get rid of some of the brush strokes. And then I'm going to take my, let's see, that's 220 sandpaper and a nail file from Amazon. I use these all the time, love them. I've linked them down below in my description box if you need some. And I'm just going to distress this back a little bit. I was very happy I didn't get any tannins coming through. I did not seal that wood first, and it looked great. And so I just brought a little bit of the wood back through, and I love it. And so that one's all ready. I'm not going to do anything to the pan or to the flour sifter. And now let's look and see what we're going to put in on our little items here to give them just a nice summery refresh. And here are the strawberries. Just screams summer. Oh, there were some raspberries, but we're going to go with the strawberries here. And as you've, I'm sure, seen other creators do, we take these transfers and just do what you want with them. This Whispering Willow transfer book from Iron Orchid Designs are just a collection of watercolor creations by Lexi. I think it's Gresner, is that right? I'm pretty sure that Gesner. Anyway, I'll link her YouTube channel down below. I love to watch her paint, and she's so nice and unassuming, and she's just so easy to listen to, and she's so talented. And she's done a lot of collaborations with IOD, and her watercolors are just lovely. So that is what we're doing here. Beautiful prints and transfers that look like watercolors. And so I'm going to start here with the flour sifter. I'm just going to kind of decide where everything's going to go. I was trying to get that big leaf with the strawberry, but I just set it to the side. I was trying to figure out where I was going to put it. But I'm going to put these two little transfers on our flour sifter. And transfers stick fantastically to slick surfaces like this. And so I knew I was not going to need to seal this, not going to need to put any kind of transfer gel or medium or Mod Podge or anything. Transfers stick great to glass and to metals like this. Easy, no problem, came off beautifully. There I go. I'm just making sure it's all burnished on there. Now I'm taking my 220 very fine grit sandpaper and I'm kind of digging it into that raised embossed lettering there. So it looks like my little picture, my little watercolors have always been a part of that flour sifter. They're painted on, which of course we know they're not, but if I sand it into the, whatever I'm putting it on, wood or, metal in this case, or even into like glass jars, if you take that extra step after you burnish it with the, I'm burnishing it with the film, take that extra step and use a little bit of sandpaper. It just gives it a little bit more authenticity, I suppose I want to say. And I'll show you some close-ups in just a little bit, and you can see how the embossed, there we go. I pulled out a little bit of that embossed design up through the transfer. All right, now I was trying to decide what was going to go on my pepper mill, and I was thinking I'm putting all the fruits and vegetables on these things. So I thought, yeah, well, I could use mushrooms, and they're so cute, but neither my husband or I like mushrooms to eat, so let's just put some tiny little mushrooms on this, and we will pick something else out for my pepper mill. And so this little pear just fit the bill. He looked like he just wanted to be on this cute little painted pepper mill. And so I'll go ahead and grab a few other fruits on this particular page from Mellow's Pages. That is another IOD book. It came out on Valentine's Day this year. And I've been kind of picking at it and getting little bits and pieces of it. A lot of creators like to take the whole page and like put it on a big drawer or on a cabinet door. And that is so striking. But I guess I just haven't found the big piece that I need to do that to yet. I still have some fish. I have some big pages with, there's a butterflies page and a page of fish and sea life, and there's a bugs page too, but I don't know about that bugs page. I kind of flip past that bugs page pretty quick. There's also a gorgeous page of florals. I've taken a few things off of that page as well, but what I'm doing here is I'm just going to be taking little fruits and vegetables, and there's a mushroom page. I do take some small mushrooms, even though we're not big mushroom fans eating. I think they're gorgeous. And so I'm going to put it on my little lattice work piece. And so there's my pear. Now, it did break just a little bit. Sometimes with transfers, if you're working with a curved surface, it takes a little bit of artful manipulation with these transfers. But I just took a little bit of greenery and fixed that down there at the bottom. No problem. All right. And then what I'm doing on this pan, I knew it would stick great, but I wanted to start on that scraper that is attached to the center there and then work out. So I didn't have any broken picture or transfer around that scraper. I wanted to work kind of on top and then around the scraper and then to the rest of the picture. So that leaf is completely solid and encompasses that little scraper. And then I put this extra little sprig of tiny little strawberries. And look how pretty they are. All of them are just a little bit different in color. Just gorgeous. Oh my goodness. And there comes the sandpaper. I'm working it around that scraper. I'm trying to stay off of the actual pan because I don't want it to show that I have done some artful sanding. But that little nail file that I get from Amazon in bulk, it just does the trick every time. I just love it. All right, so here we are. I'm taking this particular video at night because it's a little bit difficult to film in the daytime. So, but I do get some daytime film at the end. So you can see that. I love how that leaf went around that little scraper tool there. And here's our flour sifter and our pepper mill. I just put a bead, a wooden bead at the top, and it's just kind of sitting on top with a little bit of glue. It could easily be taken off and switched out, but I just wanted it to look finished. Look how you can read cup right there. See, I like how that is turned out. Real pretty. Okay, so now this little diamond, I guess, with the big X lattice piece, I went ahead and painted with my little mixture of plaster and snowy white chalk paint. I gave 2 coats because it was already light in color, so it really only needed 2 coats. I did come back and after I put on 1 coat, I did sand it just a little bit. But since I didn't know what was on under this particular paint, I didn't want to dig too deep. You never know about old painted things. So I wanted to stay safe. And then I put a few of my transfers on just to see how they were going to fit. And then I stopped because, you know, best practice is seal paint before you put on a transfer. And so I didn't want the transfers to pull up the paint and to fight that. So I went ahead and put some Mod Podge because I had that right there in my little basket beside me there in the kitchen. And now I've already cut out some fruits from that pear page. And so now I'm going to cut out some vegetables. We're going to get some beans and some beets and carrots and different things. Oh gosh, what else? I know I've got an onion or 2 here. And so I'll go ahead and pull out a few more vegetables from this transfer sheet. And I went ahead and grabbed their numbers as well, just like they were being cataloged for an encyclopedia or something. And so here we go. There's the carrot going on. And I decided to put all of my transfers standing up and down. I'm going to put that little lattice work tall, like the diamond is going tall. And so I wanted all my fruits and vegetables to stand up vertically and perpendicular to the windowsill. So that's how I decided to do it, not to follow the diamond. I wanted them to kind of stand up there. So I'm wrapping it around the little lattice, and I mix them up. I have a mushroom here, a carrot there, a beet there, strawberries and onions. I put some apples, and I even pulled out a few of the eggs. There's a whole page of eggs. I didn't tell you that one. There's a whole page of eggs and other oval things. There's some things on there that I don't think those are eggs, but I couldn't tell you because I can't read that teeny tiny writing even with my glasses on. It's so small. All right. So here we go. I just kind of laid things out where I thought they might look nice. And I just take that transfer tool, and every transfer book that you get comes with a transfer tool. It's just a little plastic stick there. And I order all of my IOD. Well, I order most of my IOD. I think I have gotten a few things from other places, but most of my IOD, I like to support my local business. And so Deb down at Cottle and Gun in St. Mary's, Georgia, is about an hour away from me, but we don't get down there nearly as often as I would like to. St. Mary's is such a beautiful place to visit, and they have some nice restaurants down there. So my husband and I like to go down there. But many times I just order online, and my order is here. Sometimes Deborah's better than Amazon. I'll get my order in 2 days, 3 days tops. They are very quick down there. They really ship things out quickly. So I used my pencil. I had a couple of broken transfer spots, and I easily fixed that with a pencil. All right, so now I have some white wax that I have made from Waverly clear wax, and then I mixed in a little bit of paint. So I have a little bit of that Snow White that was crusted up there at the bottom, and I mixed that in with my clear wax. And so I've made myself a little white wax, homemade, and I'm going to brush that over this whole lattice piece just to seal that in and make sure that if any water or anything splashes up there with my Wild and Woolly dishwashing, that might happen there, that it can easily be wiped off and nothing will wear off. So I'm going to wipe that back, and that is going to seal it up, and there we go. Look how fun. For summer, we'll see some cherries, and there's some more mushrooms. Yeah, some potatoes and beans, strawberries. Look at those string beans right there. I had to cut those down the middle. They kind of went on each side of that lattice. There's a little blue egg there. And some grapes, some bananas. So much fun. And I love it here in my kitchen windowsill. It's just so nice. And I did paint the back 2 coats of that plaster mix so that if someone's out walking their dog, they can, you know, if they glance this way, they'll see something pretty in the window. I always like to think of what's in the back when I put something in the windowsill. And there we go. Now these 2 little fruits, I got these at, I think I found these in the bins actually. And it came with a set of grapes there too. The grapes were just too much. I have things there on the windowsill, and I tried to get the grapes up there, and they just didn't turn out. I ended up putting 3 coats of the plaster chalk paint mix on all 3 of these, and then because of some of the imperfections in the grapes, the white chalk paint just showed it too much. And so I ended up painting that kind of a deep, deep, deep aubergine type purpley charcoal color, and then I white waxed it, and I've just got it sitting over on another part of my kitchen. But I went ahead and used these 2, and I distressed them back to bring back some of the, you know, the texture in the orange there, and a little bit on the leaves, on the pear and the orange, just to bring back, you know, the different ridges and the texture of the leaves. And then I am going to clear wax those, there we go, with the Waverly clear wax. And then I've made my own little colored waxes there by mixing the clear wax with a little bit of paint. And so this pear, I'm going to be, after I clear wax it, I'm going to add a little bit of maize. That's the yellow one there. I added a little bit of maize chalk paint. And then this one for the orange, I clear waxed it first, and after it dried, I added the orange one there, which is a little bit of the pumpkin chalk paint by Waverly. I get all these Waverly paints and waxes at my Walmart. My Walmart still carries Waverly. And so it just gives that little bit of touch of color, not much. It's still just very unassuming, my 2 little fruits there. And I guess I like things in odd numbers, so I guess my pan is the odd number there on that side. And then I have 3 things on this side, on the left. And I added a little bit, this is a little rock, which has number 6. Verses 24 through 26, the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. We said that after every MYF, my youth group, as we did our little benediction before we left each other. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I pray God's richest blessings on you. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel, share it with a friend, and leave me a comment. I love to read them. So from the blue house on the corner, Toby and I are enjoying our quiet summer days. God bless you and your family, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.